ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ग्रन्थमभ्यस्य मेधावी ज्ञान विज्ञान तत्परः फलालमिव धान्यार्थी त्यजेद ग्रंथम अशेषतः. This is the 18th mantra in this Amrita Bindu Upanishad, and the message of this Upanishad becomes very clear through this. When we have grains, we take away the husk and take the inner edible portion. The husk is to be thrown away, the edible portion is to be taken. Likewise, any student of the spiritual science, Adhyatma Vidya, comes across a large number of books, texts, scriptures, various works of authority, and can get baffled. As this mantra of this Amrita Bindu Upanishad rightly says, do not get baffled by the volume, the quantity, the wide range of books and scriptures. See the essence. Take the rice and discard the husk. Take the essence and discard other details. Another mantra of this very Amrita Bindu Upanishad puts it succinctly, Jnana netram samadaya uddhared vannivat param nishkalam nishchalam shantam tad brahmaham iti smritam. Take the rope of right understanding, take the rope of right knowledge and lift the liberating insight, and doing so have a totally different self-perception. The reference to knowledge or wisdom being like a rope has its roots in an ancient practice where they would bring two pieces of wood into friction with each other, each piece called arani, and in order to bring the two pieces in friction, they would typically use a rope. Using the rope and pulling it back and forth, one piece of wood is made to rotate, and as it does so, it gets in friction with the second piece of wood, and in the friction, sparks of fire are generated. In the Kaivalya Upanishad also there is a reference to this friction between aranis and sparks of fire arising. Atmanam aranim kritva pranavam cha uttararanim is the mantra in the Kaivalya Upanishad. Here in Amrita Bindu it is said, Uddhared Jnanam Vannivat. Vanni is fire. We have old knowledge, we have old ideas, and in summary, it is no other than a strong identification with our own personality. When we are identified, we are right away subject to fear, to insecurity, and here and there some sense of elation. When the personality is praised, we get so happy. But more often than not, the personality is in trouble. And as everybody knows, this body is bound to get old, is bound to get sick, and one day is bound to die. When we are in tight embrace of this personality, meaning I am this body idea, death can be so fearful. Death can be so scary. Nobody wants to die. But then, when you know that is jnanam, that is the adhyatma jnanam, when you know you are the pure spirit, not just for saying sake, but through proper study, contemplation, and supporting it with certain disciplines, every one of us is capable of anchoring ourselves in a new understanding of who we are, and that jnanam is liberating. So the old knowledge, I am the body, in summary, it is much more than that, and the new understanding, I am the pure spirit. These are the two pieces of wood, and old knowledge and the new insights received from scriptural study have to come in friction. And satyameva jayate. Truth alone wins. The insights supplied by the scriptures are bound to be victorious. But we need to facilitate that churning, that friction. Therefore, this Amrita Bindu Upanishad, like all other Upanishads, is meant to facilitate that churning. Some say this Upanishad is from Krishna Yajurveda, but we more often take it to belong to Atharvana Veda or Atharva Veda. That is how the Shanti mantra that I recited in the beginning is Bhadram Karne Vishranuyama Devaha. O gods, may we hear what is auspicious, may we see what is good, and so on. And that is generally the Shanti mantra associated with all the Upanishads of Atharva Veda. Why is this Upanishad called Amrita Bindu? Amrita is nectar and Bindu is drops. Just as a few drops or perhaps even one or two drops of nectar can bring back somebody who is dead or who is dying, bring back to full vigor. This wisdom can bring us back to total vigor, while otherwise, because of our worldliness, we are in endless conflict. The poor are in conflict, the rich are in conflict. The unknown common man also has his conflicts. Celebrities and eminent people also have their conflicts. So life of conflict, where unable to bear the pressures, the pulls and pushes, a human being typically compromises. She wants to do something, but she ends up doing something else. He wants to say something, but he ends up saying something else. So this gap between what one wants to do and then what one actually ends up doing creates an inner situation which poets sometimes describe as no less than dying. Valiant die but once was a statement in one of the one-act plays long ago in English classics. The valiant die but once. What it means is, except for those heroic, valiant people, the vast majority of human beings die many times. They die a number of times every day. What do we mean by saying they die? Every time they compromise, every time they behave in a way which is not in line with what their own heart says, it is like dying. It's for namesake living, but actually it's dying. And Amrita Bindu Upanishad can help us rise above that level where compromise is unavoidable. If we can live without compromise, without conflict, if we say what we have in mind, and if we do what we had promised, if we report what we had actually seen, and we move on without fear, without regrets, without having to hide anything from anybody, we face up to the realities of life and move on with great peace inside. That is Amrita. Nobody is interested in living for 500 years. As Swami Vivekananda once said, a banyan tree lives for 500 years. Do you want to be a banyan tree? It's rather good to be a vibrant human being and live just 100 years or even 70 or 80, 90 or 60. It is not the years you fill in your life, as they say, it is the life that you fill into your years. Amrita Bindu Upanishad can empower you to put in more life in the years that you live and not be concerned much with just having more years in your life. The Amrita Bindu Upanishad is a short work attributed or considered as belonging to Atharva Veda, and it has just 22 mantras. It opens with a bang saying, mind is considered to be twofold. Mano hi dvividham proktam Shuddham cha shuddhameva cha Ashuddham kama sankalpam Shuddham kama vivarjitam. Here kama is clearly the psychological selfish desire. If you are desirous of eating good food, that is not kama, that is biology. But if somebody has some good food with her and you say, why should she eat that? I must get it. Though you are not hungry, you want to grab the food from somebody else's plate. You are jealous of somebody, while your real needs are not at all such that you need what she has or he has, but that is called psychology. The mind cannot bear somebody moving ahead. In Sanskrit, the word for jealousy is matsara. Matsara has the etymology mattaha sarati agre iti matsara. Mattaha means compared with me, sarati agre. That guy is going ahead. That guy has 2 houses, I have only 1. But do you need 2 houses? Well, I don't need, but why should he have 2 houses? So in this way, there is much confusion and contradiction in this business of being jealous. Therefore, please do not take karma as what is most essential or what is so natural to an organism. Though I do not overemphasize this division between biology and psychology, let me hasten to clarify, a lot of psychology gets into your biology. Therefore, anything that your body desires, indriyas seem to desire, do not hurriedly label them as biological. There is no psychology here. For body and mind, you see, are closely interrelated. If the mind entertains certain thoughts, then the body tends to, over a length of time, own those tendencies, own those urges. The body tends to get those tendencies into itself. Therefore, biology and psychology are not watertight compartments, but broadly speaking, the bondage of a human being is in his or her psychology. Mano hi dvividham proktam. Therefore, the Amrita Bindu Upanishad begins with a certain light thrown on the mind, on the psychology. Our psychology, the way our mind works, and accordingly the way we behave, can be Shuddha or Ashuddha. Shuddha is where there is no selfishness. We are objective. We recognize somebody's need as real as much as our need is real. We have no unnecessary dividing lines. We do not believe in prejudice. We do not have a bias. We are transparent. Then the mind is Shuddham. That mind is one kind, and Ashuddham is Kama Sankalpam. And the most famous mantra of Amrita Bindu, quoted on so many platforms, is the second mantra, which says, all said and done, your mind itself binds you, your mind itself liberates you. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho bandhaya vishayasaktam muktam nirvishayam smritam. Mind alone is the one tool that can bind you when it is selfish and can liberate you when it is selfless. Selfish and selfless are one pair of words, most appropriate, but another pair of words supplied by the Upanishad itself in the second half is Vishaya Asaktam and Nirvishayam. Vishaya Asaktam again is the psychological process where out of foolishness, with there being no true need, the mind seeks this or that gratification. One has had a hearty meal, let us say, and one is going towards work, and then one suddenly remembers, oh, there is a nice place of eating here on the way, and it's a long time since I ate that particular delicacy. But the mind says, but you have had just now a heavy breakfast or a hearty meal. Oh, that's all right, but I want to taste this. But you have an important meeting. Oh, I will make it. The mind, which is thus enslaved by a pleasure urge, not when he is hungry, but when he is not hungry also, just for the pleasure of eating some special food. Let us say this man goes into the restaurant in impulse, in emotional intelligence, they call this poor impulse control. Those with high emotional intelligence also have impulses. Urges and impulses come in human beings by and large, but those who are spiritually mature have that ability to hold back and say, oh yeah, I love that food, but maybe this evening, along with my family members, we will enjoy that food. And he straight away goes and joins the meeting well in time. Vishaya Saktam, all of you should look into yourself and clearly distinguish when your desires are well placed and when they are ill placed. When your desires have no rhyme or reason, they are born of confusion. Like if I may give another example before proceeding, somebody remembers there is something in the fridge, and because there is something in the fridge, let me go and take a helping. You may not really need, you may not really want it, but the mind pushes you. And not just food, sorry, both my examples were about food, but it is about numerous ways of self-gratification. You want to say something where it is not needed. You want to ask somebody something where you know you are disturbing her. So many ways impulses arise. These impulses are the result of, alas, lack of proper management in the earlier times. Vasanas have been generated. Therefore, as all of you know, the Vedanta emphasizes that we have an adequate amount of Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadama, and so on. Then the same Vedanta teachings can do their job. Otherwise, we hear and hear, We go on listening to lots of Vedanta discourses, but we remain where we are. Vishayasaktam is when the mind is in disorder, and that leads to bondage. Vishaya nirmuktam, muktiyai nirvishayam smritam is another version, or muktam nirvishayam. Nirvishayam here means Vishaya anasaktam, not attached, not unduly drawn to either sense gratification or even emotional gratification. To seek praise, for example, also is Vishayasakti on a circular level. When you seek praise, when you desire that people talk well of you, when you desire in a party that more and more people come to you, rush to you to ask, how are you doing? So wonderful meeting you, and so on. You are not content with a couple of friends. You want the whole world to recognize you. That is also Vishayasakti. So on the emotional plane, on the intellectual plane, and of course on the sense plane, as some of you surely know, in the Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Kama, selfish desire is a main culprit. And this Kama, selfish desire or attachment to pleasure, attachment to various forms of self-gratification, operates from three bases. Indriyani mano buddhihi asya adhishtanam uchyate. Therefore, it is that I interpreted Vishayasaktam as not necessarily on just food or drink, but in the context of seeking attention, seeking loving sentiments, seeking appreciation, respect, seeking praise, and all that. All right, what is the sadhana that Amrita Bindu Upanishad advises us? That is how, right away from third mantra onwards, it is said, if you understand clearly that a mind that is freed from insensible desires is the tool, is the stepping stone to liberation, you will, of course, if you realize this, you will definitely organize your sadhanas in the form of those practices which make the mind less and less outgoing. So the third mantra says, Yato nirvishayasyasya manaso muktirishyate ato nirvishayam nityam manakaryam mumukshuna. If you are a mumukshu, you are a desirer of liberation, then all you need to do is make your mind more and more nirvishaya. Your mind tends to become savishaya, that is vishayasakta. At all sorts of places, at right places or wrong places, the mind tends to harbor thoughts about becoming famous, enjoying some sense objects, receiving a lot of love and regard and attention from Tom, Dick and Harry. So seeking on the three planes, Indriyani Mano Buddhihi, tends to happen. Therefore, make this mind nirvishaya. Vishayasakti is like a toxin that has somehow entered into your body-mind complex. Detoxify yourself. Sadhana, therefore, is no different from a detox program. These days people go, right, sometimes to fancy resorts. Where are you going for 10 days? Where are you heading? You ask them. Oh, I'm going to such and such place for a detox program. Oh, what is this detox? Generally, it is more on the physical level. So there they eat some different kind of food. They drink herbal tea or some juices. They avoid tea and coffee. They avoid smoking and alcohol. They avoid spicy food, oily food, and of course some other exercises, maybe some massage, maybe some Ayurvedic treatment. All put together, after 10 days or more, they wish to come back totally cleansed. They are cleaned up. Their system is free from toxins. Now, how about detoxification on a deeper level, emotional level, intellectual level? And on those levels, attachments and aversions, jealousy and destructive anger, these are the toxins, not the chemicals which are referred to as toxins generally. Therefore, manaha nirvishayam karyam. A modern liberal translation would be our mind has to be detoxified. How is it to be done? It is said from the Vedantic point of view, the fourth mantra says, bring the mind closer and closer to Atma Bhava. Today you have Deha Bhava, Deha Atma Buddhi. As the mantra goes, Nirasta Vishaya Sangam Sanniruddham Mano Hridi Yada Yati Atmano Bhavam Tada Tat Paramam Padam Tavadeva Nirodhavyam Yavad Hridi Gatam Kshayam Etadnanam Cha Dhyanam Cha Shesho Nyayascha Vistaraha. Rest of it is all sorts of logic and all sorts of elaborate explanations. The essence is etad dhyanam, etad jnanam. This is meditation, this is right knowledge. What is it? The mantras say, if your mind in whatever way can be freed from Vishayasakti and comes to the Atma Bhava, I am the pure self. See, when you desire a sense object, apart from the sense object occupying your mind, there is actually a deeper dimension. You have looked at yourself as a desirer of that object. In other words, if the sense object is kamya, the Sanskrit word for what you desire is kamya, and desire itself is kama. Behind kamya and kama, you are actually a kami, one who desires. Just as a person looking at himself as the most eligible bachelor in the neighborhood looks around, who will be a ideal bride for me. So as he is looking for an ideal bride, a life companion, primarily his self-knowledge is of the nature of, I am a bachelor, most eligible bachelor. Somebody who looks at himself, I am an unemployed person, seeks a job. So he seeks a job. Behind seeking his job, he looks at himself as an unemployed person. So this is where we dig into self-knowledge. What you think of yourself decides your desires, your aspirations. Somebody who has somehow been hurt on some ground of, I have been an underprivileged community member, and the person envies people who are, quote and unquote, privileged. Then this notion, from birth I have been underprivileged, I must show my worth, I must show to the world that I am as good, if not better, than others. So his idea, I am from an underprivileged community, if it is constantly bugging him, he will accordingly set his goals. So without elaborating, it is all about undoing numerous ideas of who I am in a mature way, not just suppressing, not just trying to push it aside. It will come back with more force. It is only through great intelligence Vedanta helps us to look at our aham vritti, a thought describing who we are with more and more of broader perspective. And Atma Bhava is when we completely appreciate and give a place to our personality. With Atma Jnana, a mother of two children will not say, I am no more mother. She is the mother of her children, even with self-knowledge, the highest self-knowledge. But as I said, she will be able to put it in its proper place, not overly get stuck in that thought. I am a mother of two children. I am a senior executive in such and such company. I am a resident of such and such place in the world. 20, 30, 100 descriptions all have their validity, but in their right place. A place for everything, but everything in its place, goes the old saying or phrase. So Atma Bhava is, what are you primarily? If you say primarily, I am, full stop. Primarily, I am, period. No description. Then what about your being mother of two children? Yeah, that has its own place. I am, of course. What about your being a Bengali? Yes, I am a Bengali. My name is Bhattacharya. Yes. So, I am a Bengali. I am a mother of two children. I know 7 languages. Whatever. I said 100 descriptions, and using the good old idiom, all of those 100 descriptions put together is a drop in the bucket. You are the pure self primarily. The vastness of the bucket is your true nature, Atma Bhava. And these 100 descriptions, which are functionally valid, together are a drop in the bucket. They are so tiny. But today we are so caught in that description, and we are not able to see the vastness of the bucket in which this little drop is sitting. Yada manaha atmano bhavam yati tada tat paramam padam. And all this through analogies is nice to appreciate, but as the saying goes, there is many a slip between the cup and the lip. Out of 10,000 people who study Vedanta, 1,000 appreciate all these beautiful analogies, and only 100 get closer to an understanding of where lies the problem. Then only one out of 10,000 acts. 1 out of 10,000 really sees differently. All others stay with the pleasure of the words. Therefore, talking about how thought can be so treacherous, how thinking can trap us in yet newer ways. Thinking can put us within the boundaries of a concept, and the concept is not the truth. The concept is a kalpana, a way you conjecture, the way you visualize, and the truth is the actual thing. If you imagine a cow, you don't have a cow before you. If you imagine a chocolate, you don't have a chocolate in your hands or in your mouth. So, conceptual Vedanta is indeed a stepping stone, but at some point you need to go from concept to actuality. Therefore, to see 1 or 2 more mantras by way of an overview of this Amrita Bindu Upanishad, the 6th mantra says, don't think that the highest truth can be conceived by your mind, and don't think that the mind has no role to play at all. Naiva chintyam nacha achintyam. Chintyam is one error when somebody thinks it is all about visualizing properly. Visualizing is one notch below the truth. The truth is when you are the truth. You got to be the truth, not think of the truth. Therefore, na chintyam, na achintyam. Somebody goes to the other extreme, closes his book and says, I'm not going to think anymore about Vedanta. Let's go and enjoy some objects of the world. No, then you will not wake up from your long-standing confusion. So you must think, but do not imagine that it can be within the boundaries of a concept. Therefore, it is na chintyam, it's not to be thought about, but chintyam evatat. In apparently contradictory statements, the Upanishad mantra lifts us to a certain height of subtlety. Last for this webinar, let me quote for you a really beautiful shloka or mantra, that is the 19th mantra. Today we live in this earth, in this world where thanks to communication, we are connected with each other. Many religions, many races, many languages, many cultures, all are coming together. Now, Amrita Bindu has a beautiful mantra to suggest harmony. Gavam aneka varnanam kshirasyapi eka varnata kshiravat pashyate jnanam linginastu gavam yatham. Cows are of different colors. You have a white cow and you have a black cow, you have a brown cow, you have a cow with some patches. Many colors. Cows are of many colors, but the milk in all of them is white only. Likewise, Kshiravat Pashyate Jnanam. Christianity and Islam, Hinduism and Buddhism, Baha'i and numerous other faiths, in all of them, at first look, there seems to be so much contradiction. But then, as we dig deeper, we realize that the human mind, depending upon particular time and particular historical conditions, had expressed the great truth in different ways. Therefore, to recognize the one color, that is white, of milk in all the cows, which outwardly may be of different colors, speaks for your wisdom. Therefore, we, the Vedanta students, need to bear this in mind, respect different philosophies, different siddhantas, different matas, different schools of thought, and go deeper and deeper into your own school of thought, your own meaning, that which appeals to you the maximum. Stay back from any negative judgment of other faiths, other religions. Maybe they have their own wonderful insight. But to me, this particular school gives me great inspiration, great clarity. This school resolves my conflicts. Thinking in this way, stay put in your own study and reach great heights. Liberation will be yours. Drops of nectar giving us liberation from what otherwise is a miserable existence, is the main teaching of Amrita Bindu Upanishad. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Let me see if there are some questions. I don't see any text questions also. Oh, somebody says no sound, not audible. That I wonder, it may be a problem. Let me answer that person with the text only. Perhaps no sound means your speaker. Your speakers at your computer have a problem. Kindly check. Okay. The participant says it got fixed also. So he was able to hear.
Swamiji,
Now,
there is one hand.
one hand has been raised. Let me see. Yes, Ranjan Desai. So we enable Ranjan's microphone. Yes, Sir Ranjan.
Yeah, thank you, Swamiji, for that wonderful lecture again, and for repeating this lecture. And it's just a comment. That's not a question, but it's nice to have you back again here in California, and I look forward to meeting you.
Yes.
It was a wonderful lecture again. I really liked it.
Yes, yes. Today the webinar was from California, and Ranjan Desai lives in the same area, Northern California. Yes, we will meet, Ranjan. Yeah.
Sure, thank you.
All right. Then, yes, there is a text. Yes, the participant who said no sound has said later, thanks Swamiji, it got fixed. I learn and retain by reviewing and repeating and reading and listening. This is another person who has said, I learn and retain by reviewing and repeating the reading and listening. If I want to read this Upanishad, which version do you suggest? To my knowledge, presently, there is a very good translation with footnotes of Amrita Bindu Upanishad published by Ramakrishna Mission, Vedanta Society in the West. And I had brought out a booklet which we can arrange to send to you with the short commentary, one half page on each mantra. So these two I'm aware of. I'm not aware of any other. There must be some other commentaries. But Ramakrishna Mission's booklet and a booklet authored by me are available. Let us know. We'll try to send it to you. Okay, the gentleman says, I am interested. Thank you. So do email your address. So we will send a copy to you. And everybody seems to have gone for advanced mind control, as the Amrita Bindu has said. Control your mind, and therefore no question is coming out. Oh, okay. Right. Oops. Here. Okay. One last time I'll check if there is any question. Yeah. So 99th webinar thus comes to a close. Next Sunday we will do the 100th webinar. We will let you know what the topic is, who the speaker will be, and so on. Till then, namaste, and wish you all the best, everybody. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Pranam Swamiji.
Hari Om.